So I feel like most business owners won't talk to you about this, but I started this company because I took a look at what we are feeding our kids mainly and tried to understand why there aren't any single ingredient desserts in the dessert section of any convenience store in the world. It's only ice cream, and when I was a kid, that was always the first place where I would look. Whether I was in a movie theater, go to a gas station, on a road trip, I always wanted sweets. And I started eating frozen grapes like a lot of you guys and realized how good they taste. I saw companies like True Fruit and Fruit Riot trying to sell fruit as a dessert, except the one thing they kept missing was they kept thinking that nature wasn't perfect already. I think it's so obvious. Why would we add something to what's already amazing? And instantly, when you freeze grapes or blueberries or mango, it turns from an already amazing dessert to something that emulates like an ice cream. And to me, that was the most fascinating part, was how can I make this sustainable without adding any other ingredients? Because the way that people get food on most shelves and to sell and to make money, keep it as affordable as possible, is by adding preservatives, processing so many different ways that just are not healthy for you, and not caring what the consumer actually ends up putting in their body. I started the business thinking I understood why no one had done it before, but I also didn't understand why no one had done it before. And one of the main reasons is it's very, very challenging. You have to source fresh fruit year-round. You have to process it, freeze it in a way that preserves it. And keep in mind, I don't want to add any preservatives that are unnatural. And then keep it in a good quality state so that the end consumer has something amazing to eat. It seems simple because if you went to the store, bought a bag of grapes, broke it down by cost, froze it and resold it, you might make a little bit of money. But when you have to buy packaging, you have to put it in a master case, which is more packaging, more boxes. You have to hire labor to actually produce it for you. So imagine, de-stemming grapes, imagine peeling a mango and cutting in perfect squares, washing, processing, and then freezing, and think about the storage costs involved with freezing the fruit and making sure that the temperature never fluctuates. It gets extremely, extremely specific, extremely detail-oriented, and extremely costly. Say you can sell it to a customer for $6. You're selling it to the store for $2.99. And hopefully you can make it for, from right now, I'm losing money on every single unit. And I'm focusing on trying to make even just turning a profit. So say making 20 cents a unit. Ideally, you're making from 30 to 60% margin, but it gets extremely, extremely difficult. And say I'm able to make 10, 20 cents a unit, then calculate that at 20,000 units. You're still making barely anything, and that's 20,000 units. To make 20,000 units, you have to process potentially 20,000 mango. So imagine what it would be like to cut and process 20,000 mango. So imagine a startup doing this. It makes a lot more sense if you were funneling this into a massive corporation that has the labor, that has money to invest in technologies and innovation, and potentially has the fruit sources. I'm just one guy. So I'm trying to source thousands of pounds of fruit. I'm trying to process it in an affordable way. And you have to think, like, we have to get the fruit in. We have to make sure the fruit stays ripe, because the second the mango is out of the ripe period, it's wasted fruit. We have to process it. We have to the processing steps are not that simple. It's actually very complicated. And right now I have a shelf life of anywhere from 2 to 6 months from the grapes to the mango. If I really want to distribute it across the entire nation, I need that shelf life to be at least 6 months, because you have to understand, once I source it, once I process the fruit, it takes time. And then imagine a startup trying to get to all of the different corners of the nation. You don't just do that in 2 months, sell it to the customer, and everyone's happy, right? It might take you a month to find the sale. It might take you a month to process the fruit. It might take you a month just to distribute it. At least for me, I'm just starting this. I don't have all the connections that these massive billion-dollar food corporations have, right? The ones that are feeding you garbage. So it becomes extremely difficult. And the one thing I do have on my side, though, is you guys. I think the one advantage I have against all of these massive players in the food industry is that I have people that see what I'm doing and can relate to it, because at a certain point, we don't want to just be fed garbage all day. I was angry because I'm so susceptible. If you put an ice cream in front of me, I want it. My entire life has been wanting ice cream because it's been put in front of me in so many creative ways that I have become addicted to sugar. So my goal is to put fresh fruit in front of you, which is very difficult to get in some parts of the world because of the shelf life. So imagine a 7-Eleven that's carrying a cup of fresh fruit. That's not gonna last more than 2, maybe 3 weeks if they max out the shelf life. And so when I freeze it, hopefully we're able to get a single ingredient frozen treat in more places in the world, more access points, more availability to something that doesn't make you feel horrible. And that's the goal. There's a lot of tricky parts of this, like how can I actually make money? Because you need to I don't want to make money for myself. I want to make money so this business can live and become something one day. That's really all that this is about. I hope that you can see a little bit deeper than this and understand what companies are doing right now where they're really profiting and able to really make money off you guys, and how bad it is for you and the earth. And hopefully you can see that I'm just a 26-year-old. I grew up in a time where it seems like the peak of fast food and fast, rush. Like I get quick dopamine hits from the garbage food that I can find on every single street corner, and I'm trying to change that. And maybe it's this product that works, and maybe it's something that I do in 5 years or 10 years down the line. But right now, I'm giving this my all. I wake up, I work until I go to sleep, and I'm hoping that by the end of this year, 2025, I can have frozen fruit in every single gas station in America. Thank you guys for following. I'm just getting started, and I really appreciate your support in any capacity. So even if you're talking shit, thank you. Thank you for following. Thank you for engaging. I really appreciate it. And I need all the momentum I can get and all the support I can get, because you have to understand we are up against billion-dollar corporations trying to poison you, and they don't care because it costs pennies to make, and you want to keep buying it. You want to keep buying it because we are all addicted, okay? Let's get that through our heads. I'm addicted. I'm a food addict. All right, guys. Thank you.